talk about the paths that you can take with your containers. So a lot of people may not know this, but I am now officially certified as an ultimate portion master coach, along with the 2B mindset. And what I discovered with all of this is that everybody, if you can, you should get certified. It's amazing because the more you know, the more you do. And I think the difference now between where I was 4 years ago and where I am now today is the educational part. So many of us get into this lifestyle and we buy something and we sit there and then we start using it, but we don't know why we're using it. We know that we want to lose weight. We know that we want to do all these things, but I will tell you this right now. The people that will excel in their wellness journeys are the people, and I'm always going to keep it real, are the people that are very honest about where they sit in their wellness, how they sit in their wellness, and what you really are going to choose to do to improve upon it. That doesn't mean being perfect, you guys, at all. What it means is that you own your accountability. You own your leadership. For example, I decided yesterday on Facebook stories and Instagram stories that I was going to publicly and openly talk about how I eat in the middle of the night and how I basically take all that I've done in the middle of the day. Okay, you can have this. All I've done in the middle of the day. Here, can you go sit over there? All I've done in the middle of the day, and then I can keep myself at this plateau. I know exactly what I need to do. Most of us know exactly what we need to do, but a lot of us don't call our own baloney out. So what I want you guys to understand and what I want you guys to do is if you are struggling, if you are not holding yourself accountable, you got to stay 100% in this group. That is the way it's done. What happens is this: when you show up every single day and you don't miss a post and you make this your commitment, your family will have a better mom. Your partner will have a better partner. You will be more efficient at your job. You will be more driven to do things that you need to do to be a better person, okay? So the reason why I know this is because my life, and I am not perfect, but it has drastically changed from being legit in a fetal position to getting myself up, and nobody helped me. And I said, I got to do the work, and it's painful, guys, and it's sometimes repetitious, and sometimes you think you're never gonna break a habit, and you think that you should just give up. But those are the voices of your universe trying to sincerely ask you, how bad do you want it? That's what it's trying to do. It's not there to harm you. It is there to uplift you, to make sure you know that you have to dig your heels in and do the work. We have moms on this group right now, and I'm pretty sure that you would tell your kids to never give up, to go for their dreams. But if you're just saying those things and you're surface level and you're not actually doing those things, then I personally called myself a fraud at one point. I'm a liar. If I'm not going for my dreams, if I'm not reaching into my soul, if I'm not going for it, I'm lying to my children. And I don't ever want to be a fraud. I want to be truth. And so this month is really special because this is the month going into June that, unfortunately, I have to say that I lost my dad 17 years ago. But what I love most is that I am using all my pain, all my anguish, and trust me, it is still there, to go all into this group, all into you, all into us, all into something pure and good. Because when we do that, we make our negatives into positives. Nothing in your life is bad unless you choose to perceive it that way. My dad's death is not bad. It is the greatest gift that was ever brought to me. Because I can tell you this right now. Somebody asked me yesterday at the salon, would you want your dad back? And the answer was no. They were like, oh my God, why? How could you not want your dad back? I said, because I am the person I want to be. And I would not be this person if he didn't do what happened. Does that make sense? Like, it had to happen. I miss him to death. I wish he was here for my kids. But the fact is, he's not. And I will use his story through me to be our greatest story ever told, because that is called living. That is called honoring. That is called, I will not suffer because you're gone and I'm still here, and I will use you to be my greatest self. So you see how you have to start perceiving your negatives as your greatest gifts, because they're not there to hurt you, okay? I really just want to make sure I say that, because sometimes we get in here and we struggle to do a post. We struggle to drink Shakeology. We struggle to press play. But that is your greatest gift. The universe is saying, how bad do you want this? Because I'm going to give you every reason to back down. And your job is to get every reason to dig the roots into your soul, okay? Number one, we're going to do a post every single day. Every single day, a post is going to come out at 5 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. I am going to give you a different post every single day. So it is not your typical challenge group anymore where it's the redundant pictures. I want you guys to be in here. I want you guys to see the assignments. I want you guys to understand that this is your job. You're not getting a paycheck for this, but you are getting your greatest life. And that is $1 million paycheck to me. So you have to ask yourself, how are you going to show up if this was your job? Because it is your job. For me, if I sat here and I thought about how am I going to show up to this challenge group, I need to show up as a six-figure earner. Because if I show up as somebody who makes $5,000, for example, I'm probably not going to show up and post every day and use my containers every day and really see what this is made of and what I'm made of. So if we had to put a dollar sign on this and we had to choose this like this was our job, which it really is, how are you going to show up? You're going to show up as the $5,000 earner, the $2,000 earner, the $50 earner, or the six-figure earner, or the seven-figure earner. Think about if this was giving you a physical paycheck, how are you going to show up? Because you will get paid greatly if you show up every day. Let's talk about pick your paths. There are 3 ways that you guys can pick your paths. Now, none of this includes the 2B mindset. The 2B mindset is completely different. That is about plating your food, using your eyeballs, focusing on that. I will go over that another time because the bulk of this group is going to be using the containers, all right? So let's go through each and every one, and then you get to pick your path and let that be how you start it off for Monday. I will post some pictures later on before Monday about how you can pick your path and all that good stuff, but you can also go into certain things and figure this out. Number 1, we're going to go over the foundational fix. Most of you guys, this is just the generic way of how people use the containers. It is your primary, I'm looking down because I have notes just so you guys know. This is your primary nutritional plan, okay? Even if you choose to follow one of the other paths for a period, you should always come back to the foundational fix, okay? The foundational fix is when you pick a program and you do the math for those programs. Now, guys, some people think the containers are the same for each and every program. Most of them are, but some of them aren't. So it's always important before you start a program that you weigh yourself, you measure yourself, you take your before pictures, and you calculate your containers because they could be tweaked just a little bit. Now, the foundational fix is just your simple calculating your 4 greens, 4 reds, 3 blues. You know what you're, or whatever, 2 or 3 yellows. You know how many you can have in a day. I definitely use the Beachbody app because it helps me keep track of everything. So basically, here it is. You technically should be eating all your containers. It's not what you can eat up to. It is your job to eat those containers. Because what happens is this, you have to think of yourself as a car and you're pumping gas into the car. If you are on plan A and you know you can have 3 greens, but you only really get 2 greens in a day, and you might be wondering, well, gosh, I'm plateauing or the scale isn't really moving. One of my questions will be to you, are you eating all your containers? And if the answer is no, then we got to get you eating those containers. The other thing too about the foundational fix is this, macronutrients. If you guys don't know what macronutrients are, it is a balance of proteins, carbohydrates, and your vegetables. So every single food, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you need to make sure you have balanced macronutrients. Now you might say to me, but I'm only allotted 2 carbohydrates for the day. How can I get that 3rd carb in? You can take one of those carbs and break it in half. So then now you have 3. Does that make sense? Yes, it's like it's saying don't smoke, but you have it in the hand when taking your child. Absolutely. It's you cannot lie. I'm sorry, but like if I tell my kids don't smoke and I'm a smoker, exactly, I'm a fraud, I'm a liar, and I'm a BSer. Then you're only exercising BS behavior. You can't do that anymore. And that's something you have to unwind. Absolutely. And I couldn't agree with you more, Amanda. So the foundational fix is just your regular thing. There's no time nutrition. There's no, I have to do this, I have to do that. It is, here are your containers. Make sure you eat all of them at the end of the day. I will definitely suggest to you this. If you are somebody who struggles with vegetables, for example, you might want to get this, and I have it because I struggle sometimes too. If you are a discounted coach, you get the discount, but this is the Boost series. It's under Shakeology, in the column Shakeology. These are the Power Greens. And what I love about this is that if I'm running crazy busy, I will throw 1 scoop of this in my Shakeology, and then I got one of my veggies. I'm done. I don't have to think about it. It's done. The other thing that I really enjoy is taking frozen cauliflower and placing 1 green frozen cauliflower within my nutrition, because it makes your smoothie a little more creamier. And again, I got another veggie out of it. So that could be 2 veggies down, right? So I know I got it. Your job is to get creative on how to get it in. Don't ever think that, gosh, I can't do this. Don't exercise can't, exercise can, exercise when, exercise how, exercise I'm gonna get it done. It's not that big of a deal. The more you create that muscle, this all falls into place. And dear Lord, let me say this out loud right now. Don't overcomplicate this. People overcomplicate this stuff every time. I can't post because I'm so busy. No, you can post. You know why? A trash man's job is really hard. Think about if the trash man did not pick up your trash on Mondays and Fridays. It would suck, right? They gotta show up every day in the rain, in the ice, in the slush, in the mush. And guess what? That is a hard job. Our job in here is not hard. To go like this, put your gun out, show yourself that you're a bad Bama Jamma, and be the leader of your life. It's not hard. It's not hard at all, okay? So foundational fix is very, very, very simple. It's every path is built upon this, okay? So no matter which path you pick, this is the baseline of knowledge to work from. So use your containers for portion control, balanced nutrients, and cutting back and reducing processed foods and sugars. That is the essence of the foundational fix. Okay? Very easy, very simple. Does anybody have any questions on the regular, good old school way of the foundational fix? I don't think anybody will. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? Okay. Now, timed nutrition. This one is very cool. Timed nutrition is about taking your nutrition to the next level. This is fueling your body like an athlete, okay? However, you do not have to be an athlete to eat like this. Timed nutrition is more of balanced macronutrients like we talked about, okay? So there's 2 components in timed nutrition. It's when and how often we eat, and which containers are being paired together. Let me say that again. It's when and how often you eat, and which containers are being paired together. So for example, let's go back to the foundational fix. You could have 2 proteins, 1 healthy fat, 1 carb in 1 meal, right? Because you're just making sure you're using all your containers. Timed nutrition is more kind of narrowed down. So let's say you're a person who is plateauing. Let's say you're a person who feels like they need to get their metabolism revved up. And for lack of better analogies here, it's like you're the Titanic. You're not fat, by the way, but you're to the Titanic and you're filling the coal into the boat. When those people say full steam ahead, that means they're shoving more coal into the ship. When the iceberg was coming and they said shut all the dampers, that means that boat needs to slow down immediately, okay? So slowing down the dampers might be for somebody who finally gets to maintenance. you don't need to rev the engine nearly as much because you're on maintenance, okay? So time nutrition is, let me say this very nicely, it is 100% sustainable as a lifestyle. Autumn Calabrese does time nutrition as her lifestyle. It helps keep her engine running. So this is what I actually aim to practice most of the time. You might say to yourself, but I don't have time to eat every 2 to 3 hours. Yes, you do. You have to put that mindset in. So what happens is, for me, I'm a really busy hairstylist, but that doesn't stop me from eating every 2 to 3 hours. You got to plan smart foods, hard-boiled eggs, you know, cutting up your chicken really quickly, maybe making tuna and putting it in a wrap so then it's easy to bite into. And I set my timer every day to go off every 3 hours. So then when my cell phone chimes, I know, ding, it's been 3 hours. I know it's time to eat like within the next 15, 20 minutes. So that's what I do. It's been there ever since 80 Day Obsession. It really does help. So setting a timer is super, super, super duper important. Cauliflower, no, you cannot taste it at all. That's why I love it. That's why Autumn suggests it. The other suggestion Autumn also suggests is butternut squash. Butternut squash does not have a taste, and also spinach leaves. It's just going to change the color of your shake and your protein, but it's not going to take away from the taste. If you're not doing an exercise program, but you want to still do time nutrition, but everybody here is doing an exercise program, I'm going to show you guys examples of how you can split up your day. The other thing too is I'm going to give you guys an example of what a not working out plan looks like. So I'm going to post all these pictures later, but this is kind of what it looks like. Where you're going to find time nutrition is if you guys all load into your Beachbody On Demand, go into 80 Day Obsession and look at how she breaks down timed nutrition. What you're going to see is balanced macronutrients. That's like the most vital, okay? When you have balanced macronutrients, you are time nutrition, 2 to 3 hours. You are also keeping your glycemic levels at bay, which is super important because here's the thing. If you dip in sugar levels, that's when you get tired, you get grumpy, and also too, remember, we're talking about the ship, we're talking about the Titanic. Titanic is strong, that's us, okay? So what I mean by that is we're strong and we're powerful and we're mighty. If that Titanic is not shoving the coal in to get to New York on time or to get to that goal that you're trying to get to, you got to put more coal into the bottom of the ship, which is your body. So view it as that. You have to keep the dampers in there. So shove the coal in. You got to get all your food in. You got to think, how am I going to be able to get food in? Fruit salad. Great idea. Scoop that purple container, dump. Go make a bunch of sweet potatoes. Remember, I say don't overcomplicate it. Try to start thinking smart and not thinking rejection of, I can't get it done, okay? Because we're not exercising a loser's mentality. We are exercising a winner's mentality, a leadership mentality. So I will post all of these in here, but for example, you're gonna see this right here. Here is an example of timed nutrition who is on plan B. So for example, she wakes up at 7:30 in the morning and she's gonna have 1 fruit and 1 protein. 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10. So 2.5 hours later, she's gonna have a blue, a purple, and a green. So if you guys are noticing, the purple and the blue are the sugar part, right? So if you notice, there is either a purple or a yellow in every block. Why is that? That's to keep those sugar levels at bay. So don't run from carbs, lean into carbs. If you're not doing carb cycling, don't be afraid of them. You have to have them to engine your body. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is this. Every 2 to 3 hours you would be eating. Macronutrients meaning keeping a fruit or a carb somewhere in the mix throughout the day. Then you also want to make sure that you have a cutoff time, that you are done eating for the rest of the day. So many people will talk to me about, I'm doing, oh God, I just blanked out on the word. What's the word? Oh shoot. intermittent fasting, right? But you already do that. You already do that. When you decide to cut off eating at, 6:30 p.m. is like when you're done eating until you wake up the next day. That's fasting. Everybody does it. So this trend that people are saying like, oh, I'm practicing intermittent fasting. Why? Like, I'm not saying it's bad, but you already do it. There's no need to do it. Again, we overcomplicate. It's all basic 101. Stay 101. Stay committed to the consistency part. Again, with these workout blocks, the time nutrition, if you want to see more of those examples, head over to 80-Day Obsession. Go into the resource tools and the getting started tools. Make sure you calculate, and so you can see, let's say, for example, you're doing 21-day fix on Monday. Calculate your containers, but go over to 80-Day Obsession just to see the examples so you can figure out how you're going to balance everything and then set that up this weekend. All right? Last but not least, if that made sense, if it didn't make sense, if you have questions, please put them right here in the chat, because I want to make sure you guys understand everything and it's not over your head. All right, the last thing, and this is what a lot of people wanted to do with me, and it's totally fine if you do. Carb depletion, AKA carb cycling. Here's the deal with that. The first thing that we normally do with carb cycling is I normally ask my clients, I'll say, what special event do you have? Normally the answer is nothing. They just want to lose weight fast. What I want to exercise is this. If you want to do carb cycling, it is a 3-week on, 3-month off. This is not a lifestyle way. This is just a way to kind of like dial it in. You might have a wedding. You might have a beach vacation you're going towards. You might have something going on. Or some people might say, I'm just really trying to stay good in summer and enjoy my other, having an extra cocktail or having an extra piece of whatever from the barbecue party. Does that make sense? So it's gonna be 3 weeks on only. So if you don't want to do it right now in June, and maybe you're like, well, I'm going to the beach in August, I think I might do this in July. Think strategically about how you want to use these containers. The other thing that I will say too is that if you want to get the 3-day refresh, just letting everybody know, I'm going to do another 3-day refresh group on July 8th, I believe. It's right after 4th of July week. So if you want to do that, you can go ahead and repurchase your 3-day refreshes again, and then we can do that again together as a team. I will be inviting other people into that too. Yes. No, tattletaling. It's my favorite.
Mom.
Hold on one second. Okay, carb depletion. Because I want to get you guys out the door because it's almost, I want to be like done at 11:30. Carb depletion means, for example, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to post all these pictures, so don't worry. So, for example, wait, hold on. Put your hand over here. All right, here's plan A, for example. And if you guys can see this, the blue is normal fix. The purple is a depletion day, okay? So when you're in a depletion day, for example, a depletion day basically means no fruits, no healthy fat, and 1 carbohydrate. So let's say, for example, you're in plan F, which normally allows you 5 carbohydrates. For a depletion day, you're only going to do 3. So you see how everything just kind of gets knocked down a little bit? So you can actually pick your path, which is really cool. So if you guys see these grids here, and again, I'm going to post all this, so don't worry. You'll have all this available to you before Monday. Is these 2 days, don't touch that. These 2 days are 2 days off or on carb depletion. This is a regular foundational fix way. 2 days on carb cycling, 1 day regular, right? Or you can do 2 days regular, 1 day carb depletion. Do you see that? So then you can take this and actually physically cross this off. You can save this picture and save it to your phone. I'll give it to you guys. You'll have all of this, and then you can figure out, do I want to do this or do I want to do it this way? Here's what I'm going to tell you about carb cycling though. A lot of people find themselves, when they take away their carbohydrates, you might be a little more tired. You might be a little more groggy, foggy, brain depleted, and grumpy. And so it's very important that when you do carb cycling, you pay attention to your mood, because we need carbs to maintain that sugar level, which also maintains our mood. It's very locked into our serotonin levels and our cortisol levels. It's all kind of like in that mix. So when you start off, a lot of people go guns blazing and they're like, oh, I'm going to do this for the whole 3 weeks. And then they notice, like, for the first week that they're really tired, they're really grumpy, maybe they're a little more emotional and they don't know why. It's because you're depleting, you're taking something out of your body. So it's a cause and a reaction. Does that make sense? So what I always say to people is, you can try 2 days on and 1 day off, but if you're feeling those symptoms and you're not liking it and it just doesn't work for you, then you can go to 2 days regular, 1 day off, okay? But you're only gonna do this for 3 weeks. That's all you're gonna do. And you're gonna take 3 months off. And then you should pick, well, am I gonna do time nutrition, or am I gonna go to the regular foundational fix? So what's really cool is there's 3 great ways to figure out your meal plan cycle. Let's see here. I wrote a lot of notes here. Let's see. The reason why a lot of people want to do carb depletion is because they have extra water weight, bloatation. They just want to get rid of it. They just want to get rid of it, and they just need a good win under their belt. So I want you guys to understand that when you're doing carb cycling, I will ask you directly, do you have an event? What's coming up? Or are you doing this for like a vacation purpose or something? Because I don't want anybody to use this out of desperation to lose weight. Because again, if I allow you to do that, then you are exercising desperation. I don't want you to have desperation. That is what got us all into trouble sometimes. Do you know what I mean? We can't be desperate to show up to the finish line, because there is no finish line. It is about getting up every day and putting one foot in front of the other and never giving up. Staying committed to, here's the secret sauce. People wonder why, well, I'm, up 15 pounds again, whatever. You have to pick your path. You have to pick, are you showing up as a leader to your life in here every single day, even when it gets hard? Because guys, life is busy, and I don't care, and I say this with love, nobody in here is busier than the next person. So if we use that as our excuse, it will always win. It will always win. And I do not want people to build followers or excuse givers. I want you guys to build empowerment, leader of your own life. And the last thing that I want to leave you with is, the more you do in this group, the more active you are, the better your success will be. I promise you that. I can tell you that this is the longest I've ever been committed to a journey. I've always failed on myself. I am an expert on failing, but I am also now an expert on succeeding and never giving up. And the secret sauce is to lean into it, post every day, cheer at least 3 people on, give them love, because when you decide that you're the leader and you want to cheer other people on, that is a chain reaction, and you will want to do more, and you will want to be more. The other thing too is personal development all day long. Listen to a YouTube video in the car when you have silent. Brushing your teeth in the bathroom while you're taking a potty break. Like, listen, guys, there's a way to do it. Trust me, okay? And it is a big game changer for personal development, because I know when I have it and I know when I don't. In fact, I wasn't doing the last 3 days, and my coworker came up to me and said, you're doing that little worry thing again that you used to do back in the day. How's your personal development been? And I was like, oh my God, you're right. And she was right. You know what I mean? Don't think the little things are insignificant. Those are your greatest tools, all right? I'm going to post all of these pictures here in just a little bit. I'm going to keep this recording. I'm going to put it in Team Epic Journey Shakers. But does anybody have any questions for me? What program are you guys working? What are you guys committed to? I'm still up in the air. I think I want to do, Amanda's doing 80-day obsession, and I don't know. God.
Yeah, I think I might try time nutrition. I've never done it before.
Yeah, I think you're going to like it a lot.
But I am going to do 80-day.
Well, then that 80-day is time nutrition, which is perfect.
Okay.
80-day, and that's the other thing too. Thank you for saying that. whatever program you're doing, it's not I'm going to start this on Monday. You need to take this weekend and be a student. Remember what I told you about in the very beginning? The education part is so super important. Be smart. When I open up a folder, this is my chart, for example, right? And I'm looking at Stacy. What do I need to do to make Stacy succeed? And then I give myself my own prescription. Does that make sense? You don't need anybody to tell you what to do. You don't need the next Joe. What you need is yourself. And what you need to do is show up every day, right? Yep. So time nutrition is 80-day obsession, by the way. That is a time specific thing. So you just have to make sure about that. The other thing too is each program is different. So 80-day, I think out of 80-day, that's the only one that is specific of time nutrition. The others are pick your path. But you'll love that. And I can guarantee you this, Amanda, if you do that program the way it's designed, and there's also, if you go in there and read it, you're going to see that there's peak week, which is you get to eat Rice Krispie treats, all these great things. So it's really important you read it so you can like follow it. When I followed that the way it was designed to a T, now I also didn't drink alcohol. I did it. You don't have to do it, but I'm just saying, like, you will have the greatest results you've ever had in your whole entire life.
Yeah.
I mean, no joke. 17 pounds, 17 inches in 3 months. I did no alcohol. I did it in the summertime. And I learned that I had the greatest strength of all. I was going to parties bringing my containers. I went, and people were like, what are you doing? I was like, shut up, I'm on a mission, leave me alone. You know what I mean? Like, I went to TGI Fridays with Brian one day and just did it. Like, I was like, I don't care. Like, but then it broke me free of like the spell of caring so much. So, like I said, you don't have to do that, but it's a decision. You have to sit and get quiet with yourself. Like, do I want to, like, how do I want to do this?
Just probably, I mean, with what we have going on, so.
Yeah. I love you. I love Asia, by the way. She's the bomb.
I know, I love her too.
Oh,
it's been a rough week.
Aww.
I don't know how, like, I had a lady come up to me at work.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not really friends with her, and she was like, are you okay? Because you look way too thin.
Oh, God. You know what my favorite line is with that? I get that all the time. Ready? John taught me it. Ready? First of all, jealousy. I'm going to teach you this real quick. That is the universe testing you. Because what will happen is if they say that, you might go and eat and sabotage your results that you've worked so freaking hard for. Bet you girlfriend doesn't take care of herself. Bet you she doesn't do one lick of anything to help herself. That is jealousy. Women are cruel. My comeback is this. Ready? John taught me this. Oh my God, does my health intimidate you?
Yeah,
it's sarcastic, but guess what?
Yeah. I didn't, like, it just kind of, like, I was washing my hands in the bathroom, and that's what she just randomly said that to me, and I was like, nope, I'm not trying to be thin, just being healthy. I said, you're welcome to join me.
Yeah, good for you. And you know what's funny? You know what? I've even flexed my muscles at somebody. I've been like, I go to work and they'll go, oh, girl, you need to make sure you don't. I said, you know what? I said, I eat about 6 meals a day, and I have tacos and margaritas, and I got this kick-ass bump right here. You know? Yeah. So, bless and release them. Thank the universe that you get a reminder of how awesome you are and your friendships and the people. I get it all the time at work. All the time. Stacey, you're too skinny. And I'm like, no, I'm strong as shit. Thanks. Yeah. Like, I'm strong as fuck. Thanks a lot. Like, I don't care anymore. And John goes, just say to them, does my health intimidate you?
It's true.
And it's a good line, because when I say that, they'll go, you know what happens? They go, I really need to lose weight. Because that's what it is. Do you ever notice that women don't say to you, Amanda, you're looking a little. Nobody says you're fat. Nobody will ever say. think about how ass backwards it is, right? But they'll surely tell you when you're skinny.
Yeah. So
F them. F
F
them.
them.
Seriously, no, it's, does my health intimidate you? And you know, be like, girl, be like, am I too skinny? Be like, I don't know. If eating 6 meals a day and getting guns is skinny, I would call that strong as F, but whatever.
Yeah, teach their
Like,
own.
whatever. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm more healthy than you. Women are just rude. They're so fucking nasty. I hate them. But they also can teach you to not care what people think.
Yeah,
There's the gift.
definitely. That's what, like, initially, like, why the group was kind of hard, because those are the type of things, like, you deal with
Every day.
from, like, junior high all the way to now. And it's just like,
What I love about this group too is now that trend will always extend. It's always going to be there. But we are stopping that. We're not doing that. Like, I would never go up to somebody and go, you're a little too skinny, unless they legit looked malnourished. There's a difference between strong and skeletal disgusting.
Yeah.
There's a difference. So,
Agreed.
you know, whatever, dude. Fuck them. Oh my God, this is recorded and I'm going to post it in here. I don't even care. But it's true though. Like, I'm going to call it out. I don't like it. So it is, does my health intimidate you? And be like, oh my gosh, be like, girl, I don't know, but I'm the happiest and the strongest I've ever been. I love my life. I eat like a rock star and I'm strong. Thanks for reminding me. How's your day? How's your day? Whatever. Look what I made. I'm going to show you what I made. I'm so excited. It's a cheese board.
Oh, that's adorable.
It has the Shiflett family when we got married.
Did you make that with your
I just have
sister?
to put like a clear coat on it. But yeah.
Oh, that's adorable. Was that the little craft thing you and your mom and sister went to?
Yep. It was fun. It was an all-day thing, but it was a lot of fun. My mom and my sister were way too anal about theirs, and I was like, y'all just go be anal. I was like, I can't handle you all.
No, it's too stressful if you do that. Just gotta.
But it was super fun. We had a great time. But
Good.
you know what? Do you just keep getting your goals? Because what happens is, as you gain, and that's the other thing too. If you're getting that, that means your Beachbody business, and in here is about to go to the next level.
Well, yeah, and and I know whenever I started there, I was whenever I started there and started this program, like Beachbody with you, I was like almost 160 pounds, and like after the cleanse last week, I'm down to 140.
Good for you.
So
makes you feel good,
It does, and it's where I want to be, and I'm comfortable.
Yeah, and you're happy, and you have friends, and you're recruiting people. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're about to go to this next level with your business and your fitness, and the universe is gonna give you this stuff. So just know that it's going to come, and what that just means is, I'm about to level up. Look out! Like, get ready. You know what I mean? So just that's it. That's it. All right, we have like less than a minute. I love you, and we got to get Asia on board. She's super pumped.
Yeah, she's ready.
Keep rocking with her. You guys team up and join forces, because this is the start. You have to come up with your team name. Now you have a team. You have to come up with your name. What is your name? Think of that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm so excited.
Have a great weekend. Love you.
Bear.